Hello and welcome to the Damm Slap Podcast, Season 4, the first episode that marks the anniversary of the Damm Slap Podcast, everybody. Get the fuck out. Alright, today we got a very important guest that is a friend of the show by the name of Sam, everybody. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for coming out, first of all. Second of all, how are you, man?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty early as well, so kind of tired, but we're getting there.
Second of all, you're an artist. Let's get it straight out of the way, in case people don't know, right? How could you describe yourself to someone who's never heard you?
I think music-wise speaking, I can provide any sound nearly. So if you're looking for something more like alternative or even rock, rap, sometimes even techno, I can usually deliver it. So I would say that my music is pretty diverse, like me. So that's like kind of what I really like focus on and like what I'm trying to portray in my music as well.
Hell yeah. I mean, how long have you been doing music now?
Well, I've been releasing on Spotify since February this year, but I did go to music school as a kid for a couple of years, learned the piano and how to sing, even though I don't know anything about piano anymore.
Hey, I mean, it's important to know the basics, bro. It's really important.
But I think it definitely helped me with like rhythm, right? Because the singing like helped me to like, oh, when should I go in? What sounds good? What sounds bad? When I was like 13, I think, because I speak German as well, so I was into like German battle rap.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
And I wanted to be like a German battle rapper, but you know, I was like a little teenager and my voice was like really like high pitched and everything.
Hey, I mean, that's how it be.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever, but I just recorded, and I think when I was 17, I released some music on YouTube. Not gonna lie, it was trash. Yeah. It was not that great, but some people were also like, yeah, kind of this trash. But obviously, like first things you put out aren't supposed to be that good usually, and I didn't really know how to produce either. So I had Audacity and I had the beat. I just slapped my vocals raw on it and posted it on YouTube. Back then I thought it was the shit, honestly, but
confidence is key, bro.
Yeah. But when I hear it now, I'm like, wow, I really put that on the internet, you know? But yeah, so.
I mean, were you like, you said you started at the age of 13. Like,
Yeah.
Did you already know that was like what you wanted to do? Did you have a passion for it?
I think music has always been like a thing in my life. I mean, I remember the first record, like something I really remember listening to as a kid was 50 Cent when I was like 5 years old.
Nice.
But I wasn't really like, I want to be a musician full time. I was just more like, I fuck with music, I want to do music, you know? But I had other ambitions like sports since like a regular kid, you know?
Yeah, all the dreams, all the stuff. Yeah. I mean, like, you said you spoke German. Like, when you started making music, were you in Germany?
I was in Luxembourg. So
Luxembourg,
yeah,
nice.
but there's also a lot of German and a lot of other languages. Mm-hmm. So I think living there really helped me pick up different languages as well. So
can you like map it out for me, like where you've been in the world so far?
yeah, well, I was born in Germany to a Cuban Russian mother and a Danish German father. And at a young age, we moved to Miami in Florida.
Oh, that's hot.
Stayed there for a couple of years, and then my mom decided we go back to Europe, and we went to Luxembourg with the rest of my family. And I stayed in school there for pretty much most of my school life. And yeah, then I decided to go pursue my studies here, and that's how I ended up in Rotterdam.
Nice. I mean, the reason why I asked that is because like, were you already making music during your travels?
No.
So you only started making it in Luxembourg, right?
Yeah, it was, I think after I was 17 and I posted the stuff on YouTube, I took it down after some months because it wasn't it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I just focus like on school and my athletics, and then just do music. Like I did it like as a hobby, like let's say twice a week during a weekend or something. I like record something, and then I was just like trying to learn how to mix and master and shit like that. And you know, when COVID really hit, I was like, what do I have to lose anyway? I'm not doing anything, like, because we were literally locked inside of our house. So I was just like, why not? And then from then on, it started like progressing, got better and better.
I mean, would you say that like then COVID helped you like develop your skills?
Definitely, yeah. Because honestly, like online high school was nothing. I was just mostly overslept most of my classes. So I was like, 14 hours of free time during the day. So I was like, have nothing else to do. I didn't have like PlayStation. My computer was like pretty bad. Couldn't play any games on it. So
I had to improvise.
yeah. I was like, why? Because I used GarageBand pretty much the whole time until I think October. Then I teamed up with a producer. But before that, I produced everything, and I just put in some time in learning how to use GarageBand and how to like mix and master this stuff.
I mean, did you like watch those YouTube videos on like how to
Mix like Travis Scott and stuff like that? Yeah.
royalty-free bassline?
Yeah, like first YouTube, and then at one point I think when I noticed this music started picking up a little bit, I thought let's experiment more a bit, and then I was like experimenting a little more with like indie music and stuff as well. So I kind of found out some settings which what sounded nice on like a beat, and that's how I like went into different genres just by experimenting.
I mean, who or what inspires you when you're making music?
Who or what inspires you?
Yeah, that's a question I hear a lot from like my friends as well. I think like rap wise, I would say like my like all-time favorite rapper is like Tupac. But
that's good.
yeah, like but I like Trippie Redd a lot. So he has like that melodic / that rage sound, which is like pretty popping at the moment.
sound,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Also like Playboy Cardi. And if I go into other genres, like let's say like indie or like pop, I like to listen to Harry Styles. I think also, even though like I don't have any like Michael Jackson type of music, I think he's like one of my favorite artists like ever.
I mean, I feel like we're like the last generation who got a pretty good understanding of what like the traditional music genres were and what like the new music genres and like the new music styles and everything. It's crazy. Like, what do you think about people like Lil Pump?
I mean, not gonna lie, back then I kind of wanted to be like him because you see like he's exactly my age, like 2 months older I think. And I was like, wow, this dude is really living it and stuff. But obviously now, when you look at it, now he's not doing that well because as J. Cole said, you know, in his diss track, basically, everything happened what he said. So he doesn't really have the longevity of his career. It's like a trend writer type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that as well. Like, I mean, I feel like now fame is just fading away super quickly. I mean, even people like staples like Travis Scott can fall off so quickly just out of like one concert.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. But like, for example, it's like in the near future, are there any artists you would like collab with? Like you would love to collab with?
Yeah, definitely Trippie Redd is on the list. Who else would I think? Young Thug is someone I like as well. And Machine Gun Kelly is like different genre I want to do like that really like he has like that modern rock sound. I really like that a lot.
Very unique as well.
Yeah.
Like, I can see a pattern here, like the artists that stand out because of their own unique features or unique talents. But I mean, like, are you the type of artist that follows what is hot, like in the trend part, or are you more like, I'll do what I do and then I'll see if it sticks?
I remember the first song released on Spotify was a drill song, like Trust, and it did pretty well. And I didn't figure out my own style back then, so I was trying to hop on like a pop smoke wave, and I just rapped with like a really deep voice. You know?
Gotta have the like, you know, that esophagus, like.
Push the audio, you know, yeah.
Push the audio.
Yeah. So like, I think I've like a little bit of like a deep voice, I guess, but people sometimes are surprised when I like rap in a deep voice. They're like, "What? That's you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do you use autotune?" And I don't use a lot of autotune, like very. Some songs have like when I have like a little correction, but besides that, usually it's just my voice.
I mean, man, with that, like I always say to people, like also we had like some other artists and they were like I'm not gonna expose them right now, but they were like, oh yeah, like auto-tune and whatever. And the way that I put it was like, do you think we don't touch up the audio in a podcast? You know what I mean? It's like we touch up the audio in a podcast. How the fuck you're not gonna do it with a music song, like a musical literal piece? Like you gotta master it. So it's like also with the type of genre that you follow, like with your own style, it fits in an effortless way. So I mean, but like, is there like a specific thing that concerns you most when you're making a new song? Like when you sit down and you're making the song, what concerns you most? Is it like lyrics? Is it the rhythm? Is it like the way you're gonna release it? Like stuff like that.
I think also when I listen to music, I'm like not that deep into like, oh, are the lyrics deep or not? It's more like, is there a vibe? You know, can I bob my head to it? That type of stuff. You know. But when I make a song, back then I was just like, yeah, I'll just make music. And now I'm like at a point where I'm like trying to make something that is like more memorable, because very like close person to me. She's like my best friend, and she told me like, yeah, and also my girlfriend. She told me like, yeah, she told me like, because she's like, I think one of my biggest supporters, probably the biggest, and
besides me, obviously, I'm a stock trader.
And she always gives me like pretty good feedback. And we came to a point where I was releasing the music and it was a bit repetitive. You know, I didn't want to admit it, because you know, when someone's like criticizing your work, you're kind of like, I swear it's good. Like I doesn't need.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
But then like, I heard what she said and I sat down with the music and listened to it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that the sound and the lyrics are getting kind of more repetitive. So it's okay. Because originally the project was supposed to come out on October 12th. And
you all release.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just self-produced songs, and except one. And we talked, and I also talked to someone else, and they were like, why don't you take your time? Because I think I'm a person that works quite fast. I removed like a lot of my old projects from Spotify, because this is like my third album in like 9 months.
That's impressive, man. For real, like that's an impressive feat.
Yeah, like I don't know, you're supposed to take your time, right? Supposedly, but
same with podcasts, man. They claim like, you know, it's like you gotta take your time, make them perfect, but it's like, bro, we've been hustling and it's 4 seasons in a year. You know, it's like that's a hustle. Like,
yeah, I respect that, right? And if you have like, because I think when I'm very interested in something, I have like a really good work ethic, and with music I just love doing it. And I mean, I make songs in like 30 minutes, you know, like I hear the beats, and then I'm like, what I usually do in the process is like I listen to the beat first, and then I record, and then I just freestyle, and then I see like pick the things out that sounds good, and I take my phone out, write it down, make an extension of it, and that's like usually the process behind it.
So do you like have a project in your mind like before it's actually a project?
Yeah, definitely. Like for this whole mix-up, I was like, okay, I've shown that I can do other genres, but now I really want to show that I can rap in like a lot of different ways, you know, because rap itself is also broad. There's not just one type of rap, you know.
It's true, man. It's true. Like I literally was watching a thing recently of like this old ass dude on TV, and he was saying that rap is not real music. And this guy was like, what do you mean? And he was like, it's just like rhythmic speaking. And like I was like, bro, first of all, that's wrong. But like it made me think, you know, because like in some way he's not wrong, because it's like you can make it into whatever you want. It's like electronic music is like you don't have a specific way of making it. You're just kind of just gonna do, right? But I mean, do you see like your music endeavors as like do you do it as a hobby, or do you like project it into a job? Like is
I mean, it started as a hobby, and let's say the better it got, the more feedback I received, the more streams and followers. I was like, okay, like people also started telling me like that there's like some potential, you know, like bigger potential than just your average like local guy making music, you know.
Some dude on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
So I stopped posting on SoundCloud a bit, because a lot of my friends like just post on SoundCloud as well, which is nothing wrong, you know, but there's like a certain status you get associated with if you only post on SoundCloud. So I was trying to stick away from that more. Now I'm trying to turn that hobby into like a profession, definitely.
A real job. I mean, the thing is, it's like some of your songs have literal hundreds of thousands of like listens, right? And it's like that all happened quickly. Yeah. Like what I like to believe that like you woke up and you were like, oh, hundreds of thousands of clicks, meh. You know, but like, how was it the first time you looked at it and you were like, fuck, there's like a mad increase?
Yeah, I remember my first song, I was like doing really well. I was like, wow, this is nice, you know? And
good.
yeah, exactly. It's a nice feeling if you know that people from like, because I think I have around 158 countries listeners. Like, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy, you know? Like, when I saw my Spotify like artist wrap up in a year, I mean, I have like 500,000 streams in total now, and it's keep growing, you know, in like such a short time.
Especially because you just released a new album and it's like fuego. But actually, like my follow-up question to that would be like, because like you're still doing your studies, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, did people start treating you different, or like did you have any weird interactions with people like after you had like your first hit, let's say?
So before, you know, I was just like in the first year, before February, I was like pretty much normal, you know, just doing stuff. I mean, I'm still normal, but once I started dropping music a bit, I like went to parties and people were like, I know you, I know who you are. And
I recognize the voice.
yeah, or like they're like, oh yeah, I've heard your music or something. And especially now with like more followers and stuff, I had like some people like from high school and stuff hitting me up that before were criticizing my music in high school when I was dropping the bad songs. They're like, oh yeah, your stuff is fire, blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, makes you think like, weren't you making like fun of me back then?
Snakes in the grass, like. Nah, but I feel that as well. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like when you're deep into a project and people see your hustle, they immediately try to like, you know, they either try to hop on or criticize. Exactly. It's either one. Like, nobody's neutral. But it's weird. But like, so no weird interaction. Like, nobody came up and was like, yo, can you shout me out on your Instagram?
I do have like a lot of people asking me like, oh, could you post my song on your story?
Oh,
stuff like that.
that's
like,
so much worse.
Trying to do like promo of it.
Especially like you're an artist. If like it's like as if I go to another podcaster and I'm like, yo, post my podcast. It's like, what?
Like,
That's not how it works.
if my homie asks, like, oh yeah, would you mind sharing? It's completely fine, you know. But if it's like someone that I ain't that close with, you know, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like
support some dude that doesn't support you. I mean, ultimately, like, do you like post stuff that you personally like?
Yeah, but I've taken a different approach to my Instagram as well because of my manager. So, you know, before my Instagram was more of a personal account. I was just posting like my life and stuff like that. And once I teamed up with my manager, it's very different. Like before I post, you know, we have to go through the whole, can we post this, blah, blah, blah. Have to get like promotions ready and stuff like that, you know. So we prepare for an Instagram post. I can't just post out of the blue. I'm trying to limit my stories, as in like, of course, when people repost my stuff, I repost it for the album release. I had a shit ton of stories to repost.
I was the first motherfucker on that, dude. I was listening to it at literally midnight. I was on that, like, parked, bro. I was parked on Spotify.
And I was like, yeah, so I'm trying to keep it more professional now, which I think I'm doing at, like, you know, close friends is for the close friends, where we post some stuff in, but besides that, it's just how it is.
Like, in the last album, we'll get to it after, like, we'll get to it eventually, but I'd like to ask you, like, you collaborated a lot in the last album, but would you say it's like you prefer making music on your own now that you've tried both? Or would you say that collaborating with people gives you that creative boost?
I know that for my last album I had two collabs only, and it was 11 songs. Before I just got the beats off YouTube, you know, like most people, like free type beat, and I was just like trying to make my own stuff first, get my own sound, and once I got my own sound for this project, I was like, okay, let's get a few features on it, and people I know, like beat makers that I know that I support, you know, let's work together. All of them went pretty fine. It was good. One project took a little bit, which delayed the release as well, but turned out really fire, so can't complain. It's always good to work with other people because you can get like intake or new flow ideas, because on one of the songs, 10 out of 10, there's one of my friends on, you know, he's rapping, and with his flow I was like, let me kind of adapt to that. So shout out to my boy Jake Heavier.
yeah The Instagram will be up. But like because the album has so many features, it's like you gotta organize and schedule the whole shabam. And like when I make like the podcast season, for example, I feel like it's such a hustle to like just get everyone like, you know, not even like organized, just like in the same place. So it's like when I first opened the album and I saw so many features, I was like, how, bro? Like, how did you even, like...
That's why I took my time with it.
But like, was it, like, did you have songs, like, for example, some of the songs you just had parked in the album for like months?
I mean, Rude Boy was one of the songs planned anyway for this release, so I just pre-released it so people get like a taste of what's coming. I think the only song that I had like pre-record was Wow, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna release it or not, but some of my close friends said I should because it's
one of my favorite. Literally, like me and my agent loved that song.
Like the only reason why I wasn't too fond of like posting it was the quality. It's like all of the songs are like pretty well produced by my producer. You know, he's very like on time. You know, he does his job like ASAP nearly, so very reliable. And it's like I don't know if I should put it in if it's up to standard, but I was like, fuck it, you know, got a little homemade sound once at least.
Make or break. That sort of thing, yeah. I mean, we'll be back after the break, obviously. There's going to be an ad read. I'll see you guys in a second. Hey, are you interested in making your own podcast production just like ours? Well, you came to the right place. We partnered up with BUZZSPROUT to provide you guys a $20 Amazon gift card in case you guys sign up. Now, why are we doing it? Well, we actually love using BUZZSPROUT. We've been using it for a year and we've had a blast. They provide us with great analytics and statistics every time we upload something. We've never had a problem with them and the directories have always worked. They broadcast to the vast majority, if not all of the major platforms for podcasts and for audio. So if you are interested, use the link down below in the description for that discount and let us know in the comments if you do. And let's get back to the podcast. Welcome back, everybody. So let's get to the album review, right? So the album is called You and Me, right? Let's start with that. What made you call it You and Me?
So first, I got the art cover, and
it's gonna be on screen, don't worry.
And basically, when I saw the album cover, like I just told the girl who made it, I would kind of like these colors, like a bit spacey. Inspiration for that picture was definitely Lil Uzi. His I forgot the name of it, but his album cover. Love is Rage, I think. And I want something like that, you know, but not too exact like that. I want a bit more maybe realistic, because it's not realistic, but it's more detailed, I'd say.
Yeah, it's very unique, like the art style in the sense that it's like. Yeah, it literally is there. Like I really enjoy like the dynamic of the picture itself.
The color scheme is nice.
It's super creative. Also because it's like I love the spacey purple. Like my backgrounds are mostly that color as well. I love that. So, but like so you got the art piece and you were like,
I saw me and the girl above, so I was like, that should be the name.
Yeah, You and Me. Yeah. I mean, you posted 8 songs, right? But like one was already pre-released, which was Rude Boy. Yeah. Can you tell me more about Rude Boy?
Yeah. So basically, I was skimming through like the internet for some beats, and I was sitting in my living room with my roommate as well. I was like pretty late, I think 1 or 2 a.m. And I was looking for something like, because there's a sample on a song from like Child Dynasty, and great samples like from X and all that, and I was like, I want something drill, but I want something like a bit more melodical. I just don't want like a I want something with more rhythm and stuff. So I looked up drill Child Dynasty sample, and I was like, okay. And then I was just like, let me try a little UK thing. And I wrote the song in like 50 minutes or something, and I just thought take my time with it a bit. And I was like, yo, this actually slaps. Next day, woke up at 10 a.m., recorded the song, sent it to my producer, he mixed it, and I was like, perfect.
How many times he took them trips? How many shirts and got ripped? I'm just trying to see the up boy dip. Let me pull up and aim at wigs. Wigs tie up, your shoes don't trip. Quick down, we just change that brick. Pissed out now, they mum say crying. Come on like pilots, them and I flying. You know I'm the man when you need that iron. You know I'm the man when you need that iron. Walk in the bank and I flex like Byron. Them men run when they hear that siren. You know I'm the man when you need that iron. You know I'm the man when you need that iron. Walk in the bank and I flex like Byron. Them men run when they hear that siren. Rude boy, hush, bad bitch, bust. She want them sex so pressed. Them men got me stressed. Flex with the best, no test. High up, man I don't need no rest.
Yeah, that man I'm flying. Like, I mean, what, like the lyrics reflect what's going on in your mind. Or like just like the train of thought that's happening.
So I was thinking about, first of all, like, what's catchy, you know? And I was like, what's something that I would stay in my mind that I could say that is simple but not too, like, you know, makes you go like, what the fuck is he saying? Yeah, so I was like, rude boy, and then I was just like trying to have like a little more aggressive flow, and then when the beat cuts, I was trying to go to like this rude boy, hush, yeah,
Bad bitch, bust.
I think I was like, yo, that's pretty catchy, and I like, when I wrote it, I like rapped it in front of my roommate. He was like, oh, like, that this part.
But like yeah, rude boy. Like, are you into the UK like music scene? Like, as in like Skepta, JME.
Yeah, I like Russ Millions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Russ, AJ Tracy. Yeah,
AJ Tracy live and direct. Yeah.
Also, one of the songs is like AJ Tracy inspired on the project. So I'm not that big into UK, like into the scene itself, but the sound of drill is something I definitely like appreciate. Yeah.
I mean, the first song in the album is called Trouble, right? Let's give it a quick listen.
Okay, I double up the trouble. Niggas think I'm subtle. I don't know what they're talking about, they ain't a bubble. Okay, I'm high, don't ask around the block. When I'm in the coupe, I keep that Glock on me, I keep the rock on me. But back then, you weren't a friend of me. Now you see me winning on the heads, be spinning. You niggas gotta be kidding. Oh me, oh my.
Completely different vibe, right? From Rude Boy. But it's very like vibey. Was that the goal of this song? Like, did you sit down and you were like, you know what, I wanna jam out. Like, I just wanna vibe out.
When I heard this beat, I was like, wow, you know, because it's like G-funk genre, so like stuff you would hear like in GTA San Andreas or something like that, you know, like
Drive down to LA, just Los Santos.
Listen to this, I was like, what makes me want to like drive in a, you know, drop top and through like Malibu or some shit, you know? And I was like, okay, let me get like some like throwback vibes in it. Yeah, and I was like,
I mean, when I first listened to it, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I had some like Daft Punk like vibes.
okay,
Like that sort of like jammy, like somewhat like electronic sound. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I thought it was like, this one is definitely one of the top ones in my opinion, because it's like, I turned it on and I immediately was like, yeah, you know, it's like the vibe, it's like immaculate, and then you just start like dropping bars and it's like, you don't even realize that the song is over, so you're playing it over and over, and then it's like, you know, it's like you've listened to 68 hours of the same song and it's like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, it's the next day and then you have a podcast in an hour. Not saying that happened to me, but I'm saying that happened to me. And like, that's what I mean. Like, I really like Trouble, but what was going through your mind when you were recording Trouble? When you were writing it as well?
yeah, I mean, just like trying to have the lyrics that go with the vibe, and then I didn't want to pack the song too much as well, because the beat itself is like a vibe, you know. Like you could play this in front of me without lyrics, and I'll be like, yeah, this is fucking dope, you know. So I was like, okay, let me find the spots where I can add lyrics. So the verses aren't too long either, but I try to have like a rap slash, because there's like a little melodic part, right? That's like kind of repetitive and simple to remember. And then at the end of the song, you have like the synth piano solo, and I was just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. I'm not even gonna rap over it. Like, I'm just gonna let the beat go, because
let it slap on its own, like give it the respect it's due. Like it is really nice though, like, to be honest. But what, like, the title obviously comes from the lyric, like the trouble. Like the first bar is double and trouble, right? Which, like, the thing is, it's like when I used to write lyrics, like I used to have like a similar vibe to it, but like when I say it doesn't sound good, you know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. So it's like, you know, that also takes that like edge to be able to like drop something and make it sound good. Like, even though like some people, like some lyricists will be like, oh, I've heard that bar before. It's like, dude, it's not about like hearing it, because
it's the delivery.
It's the delivery, bro. It's like the fucking Amazon Prime delivery, dude. Alright, the second song on the list from the album is Selena. Tell me about it.
So basically, my boy Russell Tua from Luxembourg, you know, I discovered him on Instagram. I was like, I listened to his stuff Like he's pretty undiscovered, and I was like, yo, shit's fucking fire, you know. And I hit him up. I was like, yo, you got any open songs or like songs you're working on? He sent me like a pack of songs. So yo, they're fucking fire, you know. So I chose Selena because I was like, the intro of the beat and everything goes hard, and I was like, let me hop on it. He cleared some space and stuff. And first I was kind of struggling with like finding what flow I want to do on it. Like I was sitting in my living room when I recorded, basically like this, and I was kind of thinking like what voice should I use, because like I have a lot of thought process and if I should have like a deeper voice in the song or like a baby voice type shit. And I was just like, okay, let me try this and that, and I swear it took like, usually I don't take that long, but I think I took like 30-40 tries, and my voice was so raspy after, but I was at the end, my voice turned out better than I thought it would. So
pretty fire. But what's the backstory for the name Celine?
I mean, Russ was talking about, you know, selling on my body, so that's how we kind of came up with the name. It's catchy, you know. It's the main goal for like my song names is something that's like simple to write, simple to find,
Nothing crazy,
Memorable,
fifth, like fifth melody, top bunk,
interlude,
interlude, like, that's true. So were you listening to his music beforehand?
Like when I discovered him, I was like, yo, this is really cool.
Or like immediately you were like, alright, this is it.
I was like, yeah, I wanna hop on the song with him.
Hell yeah. That's the genuine projects are the ones that hit hardest, like in my opinion. It's like, I don't know, like most of the time it's like the ones that we schedule, the episodes that we schedule for like months, usually end up bombing for no reason. And then the podcasts that like, you know, we just do because we wanna, they hit like hard, and it's so weird sometimes.
So you just gotta go with it, you know?
Yeah, you just gotta go with the flow sometimes, you know. The third song on the list is What About Me, and this one is a banger in my opinion. Like many members of the staff vibe to this song hard.
Bitch, I feel no pressure. If I see an issue, then I'ma go and address her. After all the problems are solved, I might just undress her, cause they know that I'm a big stepper.
Well, like, I mean, the song obviously is like, you know, it's like a reflection of like, you know, it's like, I want to make it, I want to do this, I want to do it, but it's like, what about me, you know? It's like, am I doing it for me or am I doing it for others? Did I get the message right? Yeah. Like, I didn't greenlight it.
So basically when I heard the beat, I was like, okay, this gives me more of like a, I wouldn't say old school, but like more like rap where you talk about stuff, you know? Because usually rap is a lot, you just like say stuff that doesn't really make sense, or just like not important stuff. And when I heard this beat, I just wanted to have a bit more like kind of a real talk, and
like a storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just talking about like obviously like I want to make like support my mom, my people, you know. So sometimes I feel like, am I doing this just for me? Am I doing this for the people I love as well, you know? And like social media and stuff gets you stressing sometimes, because you're like compare yourself to other people and you're like, damn, why are they making it better than me, blah, blah, I have the same skills or some shit like that, you know, and you're like questioning. But I feel like after some time I kind of shut that train of thoughts off, because I know it would like affect my work ethic. So
So I mean, like, would you like compare yourself, like back when you were doing it, would you compare yourself to like artists that were like mega, or like just people that like you just saw on Instagram and you were like, I can do better than that guy with the...
Probably, yeah. Like sometimes I see people have like a bunch of streams and shit for like stuff that I think I can make 10 times better, you know? It's just about getting the right people to hear it and get it out there.
That's true. I mean, like, What About Me, very self-explanatory title, very catchy, very related to the song. So this song for me is 10 out of 10.
Smooth.
No, actually, that's the next song that you released, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
What was the train of thought that you were going on? Like, also, just let me drop it real fast.
About the Benz with Cindy and Chick. 10 out of 10. Calling my phone like she ain't got a man. That ain't your girl, that's my motherfucking fan. Shots to the hand, I'm going in. She make a nigga act time when she dance. Hop out the bank with 910. Hop out the bank with 900 new friends. None of you niggas could do it like me. I got hoes every day of the week. I pull up on them, we call these niggas eat pussy for breakfast. They acting a message, little nigga, you want what you want. Catch me PNC with the cheddar, I cook it up better. That pass it, that cheese. 10 out of 10, never hit it again. Finna pass it to 20 and then go for parades. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
That bar hits like, that ain't your girl, that's my motherfucking fan. Ah, shit. Put him in the grave.
For real. No, so Jay Cavier is one of my good friends from Luxembourg. I know him for a minute already, and he's a rapper too. So we were like, we need a collab. You know, we've been talking about collabing for like months. Yeah, exactly. You know, but never really happened for some reason. I was like, bro, I really want you on this project. Like, you know, so I had to like press him sometimes a little bit. I was like, come on, let's get this shit done. And I was like, what's a beat that it's like, you know, it makes you go like, whoa, okay, this beat is fire. It's kind of like Hot from Ghana.
It's so good, yeah, it's literally fire. It's so vibey as well, because it just starts like, dun, 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 dun.
Like, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The lead up is fire, and like, I feel like it's just a vibey song. But like, what was just like the 10 out of 10 was just like a thing that made you.
Yeah, because first of all, we had another title in mind. It was Demon Time, because I have like a line, I'll be on Demon Time, know where I stand. But we changed because of his hook. He said 10 out of 10, and low-key it sounds a bit better as well. Yeah, I was just trying to have a different flow, and just like a little more like, sounds a bit more laid back, but it makes it go like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty catchy, man. Like, this song is definitely one of the catchiest. Also, like the song straight after, which is Cosign. This one for me was very like creative, because like Cosign might sound like, at first when I looked at it I was like, oh, like cool, it's like a collab, and then I listened to the song and I was like, oh, that's what he meant with Cosign. Like, I don't cosign that, like that sort of vibe. It's like, that hits. Like, I didn't think about it like that, but it hits.
Killer, don't hit my line. Baby, come back, it's 9:30. I just wanna know what you be doing after I say goodbye. Way too many rumors going wrong, just tell me aye. Cause you be doing things that I can't co-sign.
Like, it connects, because a lot of rappers are like, you know, I ain't into that, I don't vibe with that, or like whatever. But like Cosign, I ain't heard that one before. That's what I mean. So it's like, it's simple, but it hits because it's creative. Like, but is that like how you went about doing it as well?
So I made the song with Alan. He's also a IPCOM student. And first, shout out. And first of all, like, I was like, because he makes pretty good beats, and I was like, we were talking about like a collab, and I was like, yo, like, you have any beats or something? He sent me some, and then I saw like what style you can make, and I was like, can you make something like AJ Tracy type? And like next day he whipped out the beat, and I was like, yo, yeah. And then I recorded the hook and the verse day after. Thing is, on the verse, like, it's just a repetitive song, right? It's a 1 minute something song, like 15 seconds, and it's just repetitive lyrics. But I did have a different second verse, but it didn't flow as nice, so he just like took the first verse and duplicated it and turned out fire. Filmed a little music video to it. It's gonna come out soon as well. We're editing it at the moment, and it's gonna be pretty fire as well.
Hell yeah, bro! I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if it comes out before, it will be on screen right now with the link, obviously. I mean, the last two songs, very different, but they all hit. Like Magic City, this one is like, in my opinion, very different from the other ones.
Yeah, I'm up for the X, green, white, red, and blue. Yeah, she said that she love me. I told her I do not believe in you.
What was going on, like, when you were thinking of making this?
So I made the song with Reda, and he's like a pretty well-known producer. He produces for Shaq West and everything, and I bought the feature of him because he was selling it, and I got it. It's not really my preferred rapping style, but you know, I made it work. The song itself it sounds very packed, you know. It's something you listen to when you're like preferably on something, maybe, you know. There's a lot of stuff is happening, and it's also depends what your type of music is. If you like more of like fast, like distorted type stuff, you know, it's more like upbeat, like no, yeah. It gives a little throwback vibe to like 2016-ish, so we kind of did that.
So that was the vibe that you had in mind for the... Yeah. And then, I mean, my personal favorite, which is Wow.
Evil Empire, laughing all the way to the bank.
This one, like, I mean, this one you gotta explain to me the title, because wow, like, it's a very simple but effective title.
Yeah. So when I made this song, I found it on YouTube, and I was like, "Yo, Evil Empire." Yeah, I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Evil Empire. Wait, what was it? Smiling, no, laughing all the way to the bank. That shit hits, bro. I listened to it at least 200 times.
And I was like, "Yeah, let me get like a dog voice in the beginning, just rap normal." And then I had like the little baby voice idea. I was like, should I just write something or should I just like go off the top? And I just like went off the top with it, and I was like, yeah. At the end, I'm just mumbling even.
Yeah, but hey, if it sounds good, bro, you could even like make any sound. Yeah, exactly.
And so I and then you have like a little bridge, and then like I'm just, and then like a little build up to the hook again. That's a song, and I called it "Whoa" because like I have some ad-libs that go like "Wow." Yeah, so I was like, I'll say that pretty often, so when I'll be the title for it.
Hell yeah. I mean, like the wow, yeah. Wow, Rude Boy, Cosign, What About Me, Trouble, 1010. Like, dude, these are all fire songs. Like, I fucking love these songs. And that's what I mean. Like, you can find this album right now, literally on Spotify. You can also find Rude Boy as a single on Spotify. Link down below, obviously, or scan the QR code on screen. Like, check him out, because genuinely, like, I was like, oh, dude make music. Whoa, who doesn't? And then I checked the music and I was like, dude, he does make music. Holy fuck, like, he actually does. And like, yeah, we'll literally just be listening to this during recordings all the time. So like, thank you so much for dropping good music. Like, yeah. So that's the album review. The last segment I wanna skim through is just general questions. So answer them as best as you can. It's just like a general gist. Like, a quick one is like, would you say that, like, what would you say to yourself if you could, like, before you started making music, like with what you know now?
Drop it earlier and make it better earlier.
Drop it earlier, make it better.
Yeah, like I probably, like, let's say like 13-year-old me, I'll tell myself just to keep on going with it, but in English, not in German.
Hey, you never know, man. German songs kind of slap, man.
They do. No, yeah, but so I would tell myself definitely just keep grinding. Find someone to produce for yourself, because you get to a point where self-production doesn't really do it anymore, because you need to up that sound so that homemade sound won't last forever,
Yeah, those new sounds are key sometimes for inspiration. That's true. I mean, would you, like, the next question is, would you say that you need good equipment to make good music?
Not necessarily. I think before this project, I was recording on a 20-euro microphone. I bought
that Trust microphone. Which one was it?
Good question. It was like no brand at all. Like, yeah, I bought it in 2017. I just learned how to like EQ it nicely, so it would sound better. But now I have a. Wait, can you name some quick, like?
Sennheiser?
No.
Rode.
It's like a 100-euro microphone. Like, nothing too fancy, but hey, it does the job, Yeah,
So you don't believe that you need expensive stuff to make good music? You can make it with anything.
If either you have someone or you know how to produce, you don't need that.
You'll be fine. You'll be just fine.
Music is good,
That's true. That's key. I mean, if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, it wouldn't affect your health in any way, what would it be? That's tough, brother. That's tough.
Probably like pizza.
Pizza? You heard it here live, folks. I'm so glad someone said some Italian food. It's the 4th season and nobody said that. Ooh, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. If you had to live somewhere, there's no boundaries, no limitations, everything's paid for, where would it be?
Can I name several places or just one?
One place. I'm sorry, man. I gotta do you like this.
Shit. I have a few places in mind, like 3 places, but okay. I think LA. Yeah, just because of like entertainment industry, So
to be in the hills, just to vibe about, just to talk to the artist.
Exactly.
That's true, man. I mean, what are the other 2 places, just out of it?
Tokyo.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
And Miami.
Miami hits, man. Every time I think of Miami, I think of Will Smith's song.
Yeah, welcome to Miami.
Party with the heaters on. I mean, also, how can people support your productions, like, besides listening to your music?
I mean, sharing is obviously like really big. I see like bunch of stories always like people are, like, you know, when you use music on Instagram stories, like they put my music in, and I don't know, people send me like stories of random ass people I don't know, and on the sound they have like my music, and it's just like, what the fuck, you know?
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. And one time I went into the gym here and I knew one of the guys, so I was working there and he had me in his playlist, and I was like working out and they were literally playing my music in the gym. So I was like, yo, that's like,
It's fire.
yeah.
But is that weird? Like you're listening to yourself?
In the beginning I was like, it made me so uncomfortable for some reason, because I'd say I'm a bit shy at times, you know, like obviously it's like a new experience. In the beginning I hated when I was like at parties or something and they were playing my music, like they play my stuff at parties and I was like, yo, come on.
It's like, bro, I'm here, you know, I could
It makes me so comfortable, but I think now, also as the music progressed to better sound, I feel more comfortable and I feel like, oh yeah, like I can get behind that.
Yeah. I mean, man, I feel that because like also with the podcast, I was like, I literally have to listen to my own voice, and I hate that shit because it's like, you know, you're used to having that voice in your head, and then when someone like a professor put the podcast with Corina Pushkas on the screen, and like I was looking and I was like, dude, that's me. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck? This is so awkward, right? Like everyone is here and they're like, oh, dude, that's the same dude. Yeah, that's me, you know? And it's like, also Corina Pushkas is like, she's also in the same uni, so it's like awkward for everybody. But it's like, at one point I realized it's like, dude, I'm a content creator. That's what I do, right? Like, people have to consume my content.
It's kind of nice though, like when people acknowledge what you do.
True. It hits in the feels when someone's like, yo, bro, I love what you do. One time though, let me say this on air. One time, this girl came up to me on campus and was like, oh, I saw you on the podcast. And I was like, yeah, that's dope. But she was like, yeah, which episode were you on? Bro, that shit, it killed me. Like literally, I was like, bro,
That's pretty funny, bro.
Let me like, what can people expect from you in the near future? Like project, collabs, stuff like that. Obviously the collabs, you know, like you can keep to yourself, like, you know.
Definitely more music. Always progression and sound.
Also a music video, as you said.
Yeah, some music videos on the way. Obviously good quality music. It's gonna be a good year next year, definitely. I can feel it.
So definitely do follow him on Spotify. Follow his Instagram as well, because he keeps you updated with all the good. First of all, thank you for coming to the podcast and thank you for sharing your opinion. I would love to have you on when you drop like another album, because I'll be there at 12 waiting for that motherfucking album, hogging the spot. So do support him. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel of us, and also, do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I need
I'll
to
give it to you.
Hell yeah! All the links are gonna be down in the description. You can find all the artists that we spoke about as well, all the collabs, the links, the QRs, the Instagram. You can find it all that good in the description. And without further ado, thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Let's have a blast. I hope it slaps. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hell yeah.